Hello. I had a subscriber ask about doing a video about developer jobs, graduate jobs. So I've got this up here, and the first thing I did actually was I looked at the average salary for the UK as of February 2024 from the Office of National Statistics, just to give this all some context. The average salary in the UK is about £35,000 a year. The average rent in the outskirts of London is the very cheapest is 1,250 a month. That's the cheapest. As you go up, you can see it climb, easily go up towards 1,500, 1,600, and so on. On a 35,000 salary, your take-home pay will actually be 28,000 after tax and national insurance. This equates to 2,300 pounds a month. So effectively, you've got just about £1,000 a month to live on, buy food, clothes, transport, save for a pension, go on holiday, try and buy a car, plan for the future. Anyway, this is not a rant. This is just an objective look at some jobs. So I'll try and pick out some Python jobs because that's the name of the channel. But obviously, not not every job is specifically a Python developer job these days. For instance, there we've got Python, C Sharp, C++, VB. This one, this stuck out because I just thought this is not particularly attractive to somebody. So £29,000 a year. So already it's £6,000 below the national average salary. So that's the average salary for everybody. That includes that includes parking attendants, people working in shops, people who do window cleaning. And I'm not disparaging those jobs, but I'm just putting into context. So this job is software developer actively seeking a talented, enthusiastic software developer to join our dynamic team. All the usual buzzwords. If we scroll down somewhere, just bear with me. Hybrid, remote, London, 29,000. Somewhere, there we go. 10 years software development, 10 years required. So already, if you'd be in your 30s realistically, wouldn't you? And you don't want to be age 30 with a degree, bachelor's degree required, 10 years experience, and earning 29,000. And yeah, I think before we go on and look at some more, just my little piece of wisdom is don't aim for a career as a software developer. Aim for a career in a specific niche or a specific field and get really good at that. And then the software development side can kind of go with that. The software development side is only part of it. If you've got the expertise of a certain field, then that is what will actually move you up through the pay grades. If money is the be all and end all, if money's not the be all and end all, then chill out, work on some open source projects, do your own thing, be creative, and yeah, there's no right or wrong answer. So yeah, 35 to 50, 30 to 40, 35,000 a year, 25,000 just transport for London. So a lot of these are playing on the fact that you want to gain experience, and maybe they think you're not that useful to them. If they think you're not that useful for the first year or two, then they don't want to be really paying out lots of money to get not much reward. But on the other hand, yeah, initial training, you get placement. So at £25,000, that's £10,000 below the average salary. So yeah, you might just, rather than commute to London every day and take 4 hours sitting on a train or driving your car in traffic jams and paying congestion charges, you might just think, well, do I really want to swap 2 years for that experience? Um, that's a question to ask yourself. Client server, graduate, Java. Okay, so that's probably a little bit more what you would hope for. Tech startup. Problem with tech startups is they don't all survive. So 2-1 computer science from Oxbridge Russell Group. So basically that's Oxford, Cambridge, Cardiff, um, London. Yeah, so you need to have got a top degree from a selection of about, I think it's Oxford, Cambridge, plus I think there's 7 Russell universities. So there's about 9 universities that they will accept people from there. So Python, JavaScript opportunity. If you've got a degree from from those universities, then that's probably quite an okay place to go and start off with. I don't know, is it on site? Doesn't say. I would imagine you need to be in the office 5 days a week, which is probably a good thing if you're getting started. We looked at that one, 20, 29, 25, 45. There's another one, 26. So it seems to be they really are offering the bare minimum. Financial technology with career progression. So yeah, this looks like quite a Microsofty Oracle .NET, Java, web methods. Yeah, not much to say about that one really. It is what it is. So they want somebody with a degree, obviously because it's a graduate job, Java, C Sharp, C++, type deadlines, all the usual buzzwords. So yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better salary. So it seems to be that really, if you want to chase the higher salaries in London or anywhere near London, you need to have a graduate degree from one of the top universities. Um, Algorithm researcher, wow, blockchain solutions. So blockchain basically means some venture capital company is trying to create a blockchain. Blockchain, so anything apart from Bitcoin is pretty pointless really because it's centralized, so there's no benefit there. It's going to be hosted on probably AWS, so it could easily be shut down in if somebody wanted to. And Web3, yeah, it nearly all goes to zero over time. The whole point, anything that's centralized. So if it's a company, they're doing it in expectation of profit. So if you've heard of the Howey test, basically that categorizes just about everything using a blockchain apart from Bitcoin as an unregistered security. If it's an unregistered security, many investment companies and funds can't invest in it because of regulations. Um, so these will quite often go to zero. If you want to just go and work for them fast paced and get lots of knowledge in a year before they go bust, then that's probably okay. But the whole reason why a blockchain is not a good solution is because it's slow. It's not. You're better off with a centralized database. And if you're using AWS, Microsoft, GCP, cloud, just use a database for whatever you're doing. The only time a blockchain could potentially be useful is if it's going to be, I don't know, if it is going to be distributed or decentralized, and this typically will mean that it's not. So multiplayer applications, source code, C++, Unreal Engine, 3D. Okay, maybe they're doing some sort of blockchain thing with games software, but I still don't see the benefit. Why can't it be on a nice, fast, centralized database? But that's up to them. So work closely with PM. So yeah, if you're just starting off, one of the banes of your life will be potentially working with project managers if you're doing software. Some are good, some are not so good. As with everything, But a project manager probably will end up getting you to go on Zoom calls and tell them you have to tell them what you're doing, try and explain it to them, and then they will likely give you an unrealistic target or a borderline unrealistic target, which is quite demotivating or can be. So that's my little moan about project managers. And that's probably one of the things mm, you don't always think of, or you don't always come into contact with when if you're studying as a computer science graduate. Too busy learning about endianness and to other non-project related, project management related things. Let's look at some more salaries. I'm only using one site here, but I think in my previous video we kind of saw that so it's gone to senior IT program manager. I think the results are getting less relevant, maybe. So yeah, just coming back to this, you can expect to pay average rent of easily anywhere in the UK. You're going to be paying £1,000 a month to rent a house or something. But near London, if a one bedroom flat, probably 12 or 50. Your salary's only going to be um, what's the month? What's the average? Yes, 2,300 take home pay. So you're left with 1,000, like I said earlier. So yeah, just think ahead. And is that really what you want to be doing for 1 or 2 years? I mean, if you want to do that and experience London, then that's fine. But just bear in mind your credit card bills, and if you've got student loans already, which most people probably have, then you just add it piling on the debt, and yeah, then you're gonna have to earn even more in the following years to pay off kind of having fallen behind somewhat. So plus, do you actually want a job as a software developer? Why not actually work as get some domain expertise and then gradually expand the software development side if that's what's more interesting to you. What do I mean by domain expertise? Well, say for instance, I talked about it in the last video, um, medical, for instance, X-rays, and you could become a radiologist, but with a long-term aim of becoming a radiologist who specialises in software development. I don't know, but or pharma or agriculture, and then you end up getting your domain expertise from agriculture, but then you gradually move across towards developing software and using software to solve real-world problems from the domain which you have the expertise in. Um, I've probably only really realised this since stop. I think I realised this after being a network engineer. Being a network engineer is an out-and-out job. Is you have domain expertise because you specialise in networks, and software is kind of a nice to have. So if you could if you could copy that model and do a role which you can enhance, you've got the domain expertise. When I say domain, I don't mean domain controllers or anything. I mean actually the niche. So if you've got the expertise from a niche, and then you can add more and more software to that, more and more of your software expertise, and gain more and more knowledge of writing software, combine that with the niche which you know very deeply, then that's what's going to be more satisfying in the long run, pay better in the long run, and also make you more kind of bulletproof from a weak economy, which is probably global economy is hanging on a bit of thread at the moment. So yeah, I don't want to depress you, but yeah, if you look at the global debt and even the US debt, it was a 35 trillion or something. That's not going to end well. We can kind of predict that. That's never. You can read back thousands of years and look at other empires that they traditionally all collapse and go to zero. So on that note, I'll leave you. But just bear in mind that if you are looking at graduate developer jobs, the salary may only be 25,000, 30,000. If you get the average salary of the UK, 35,000, then that's probably about the best you can hope for. And what you're doing is you're trading your expectation of better earnings in the future for the skills and experience that you can learn over the next 1 to 2 years, I would say. If you think you're going to be earning 25,000 or 30,000 for more than 2 years, then you're probably, yeah, you're probably going down the wrong road. But there we go. So that's just a quick roundup and a look at developer jobs. I've not really looked at loads of websites, but I think this is quite representative of what you will encounter. And there will be jokers who want 10 years experience. But there we go. Oxford University, you might be able to go in at 45, but other universities or just sort of starting out, 25 to 30, 26, 25, 29, 35. So, yeah, potentially go and get a different job and gradually move across to software. I know, again, working as a network engineer, for instance, you could, or DevOps maybe, but that's still IT related. Why not even just not target IT at all and just work for potentially, I don't know, a manufacturing company, uh, and then gradually move across into software development, just kind of through the back door. That's just my thoughts. I might be way off the mark, but just yeah, it's just interesting to hear other people's ideas sometimes, isn't it? So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.